War is coming. You can hear it in the distance. It sounds like all the screams of a million men and women. You can smell it in the air and see it on your television, and the government don't care. They see the money, not the missiles. War is coming. And there's nowhere you can hide. We get a 30-minute warning before the bomb reaches our side. You can run for somewhere safer, but you'll just run out of time because there's nothing you can do except prepare yourself to die. War is coming. Can you feel it? Has your fear become a secret? Who are you more scared of, Donald Trump or North Korea? Are you worried when you're reading all the headlines in the evening? Even atheists will pray that they survive and start believing. War is coming. Born from money. Worn and ugly like it's always been. The bullets just got faster and the bombs are made from hydrogen. America the brave will have to earn her stars and stripes again. She wrote the books on history, but someone else might write her end. War is coming. War is coming. War has come to get the West. It was beating down our door while we were beating on our chests. It was making better weapons while we laughed at making threats, and now it's come to get its vengeance, and we've just become oppressed. War is coming.
Military operation zone. As a result of the escalation, in the United States and their NATO allies said that they give their permission to use long-range weapons against targets inside Russia. Experts know fully well, and the Russian side has underscored this time and again, that using such weapons without the direct involvement of military operators from manufacturing countries is impossible. On November the 19th, 6 ATACMS missiles manufactured in the US were used, and on the 21st, a combined attack using Storm Shadow manufactured in the UK and missiles manufactured in the US were used to attack missile targets in the Bryansk and Kursk regions of the Russian Federation. Starting from that point, as we have underscored many times, the regional conflict in Ukraine, provoked by the West, acquired a global character. Our anti-missile systems countered those attacks. As a result, the targets and objectives set by the enemy were not achieved. The fire and the ammunition storage in the Bryansk region, as a result of fragments of ATACMS missiles falling, has been contained. No victims. In the Kursk region, one of the command and control centers of our Sever group was attacked. As a result of the attack and the countermeasures, there have been people wounded and killed, and those who were involved in servicing these facilities, those who were members of the command have not been hit by the attack and are now continuing their operation to remove the enemy from the Kursk region. I repeat, the use of such weapons cannot change the course of the special military operation. Our military is successfully advancing along the entire line of contact, and all the objectives that we set before ourselves will be met. As a response to the use of US and UK manufactured weapons, the Russian forces have carried out a combined strike on one of the military-industrial facilities in Ukraine. And this included the test of a novel intermediate-range Russian missile system. A ballistic missile with a non-nuclear hypersonic payload was used. The test was carried out successfully. The objectives of the launch have been met. One of the largest and well-known industrial centers that is known since the Soviet times in the Dnieper region, which is known to be involved in enemy production, was hit. And further plans are being made in Europe and the Asia-Pacific to deploy weapons and missiles. And we believe it is a mistake on the part of the United States to destroy the system that was established by the Missile Treaty in 2019. We see that the United States and their allies are now considering and has successfully tested their capabilities to deploy advanced missile systems in different parts of the world. And their exercises routinely include the use of such weapons. Russia has unilaterally refused to deploy intermediate and small-range missiles until we see similar weapons deployed by the United States in a region of the world. The use of the novel system, which was essentially an operational test, was carried out in response to the decisions made by the United States and their allies. And the further actions will be considered and decided based on what we see from them. The further course of action will be determined based on the threats to the security of the Russian Federation. We believe that we have the right to use our weapons against military facilities of countries who allow their weapons to be used against ours. And in case of an escalation, we will act as decisively in a mirror fashion. The ruling elites of the countries are nurturing plans to use their military contingents against Russia should be warned. When choosing measures to be used in response, such as the use of systems that was tested recently in Ukraine, will certainly include warnings to civilians and to clear the zones that will be targeted, and we will certainly do this in a transparent fashion. And we do not have any fears that it will reduce the effectiveness of those systems, because there is no way to counteract a missile that flies at 10 Mach, which is 2.5 to 3 kilometers per second. Existing anti-missile systems and the anti-missile systems deployed by the United States and Europe cannot intercept such missiles. It is impossible. So, once again, it is not Russia, but the United States who have destroyed the system of international security. And they are trying to preserve their hegemony and stoking a global conflict. We have always preferred, and we still prefer, to resolve our disagreements using peaceful means, but we are prepared for any scenario. And if anyone has any doubts, they shouldn't.
Pretty incredible breaking news coming out that is pretty much left the United States shocked. And we are hearing that this is going to be leading to world war, what has just unfolded in the last 20 hours. Now, all these articles are going to be linked in the description below. I always cite sources for you. This headline reading: the European Union's parliament has now approved, they've backed Ukraine's appeal for Western arms use in Russia, the use of long-range weapons to be fired into Russia. And now we had seen the meeting unfold before with President Joe Biden and European leaders, and there was nothing that came out of it. And Russia had warned that if this unfolds, this is going to lead to world war. Putin's exact words were, this changes the entire essence of the conflict, and we will consider ourselves in direct attack by the United States and NATO, and this would lead to all-on war. Well, take a listen to this. Here's the quote that has come out from Vyacheslav Volodin, the president of Russia's lower house Duma. He has just said this. He said, what the European Parliament is calling for right now leads to a world war and the use of nuclear weapons. He warned as a result of what has just taken place. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you the details, and in addition to that, what the United States' stance is on this, because right now I'm also looking at articles that are saying that the U.S. is seeking clarity from Ukraine on the expanded use of the long-range weapons. The United States saying very clearly that what you are proposing to do will lead to an escalation of war. And what they are saying is nuclear war, world
Russia just added a U.S. missile base in Poland to its nuclear target list. The military base in Redzikovo, equipped with interceptor missiles and radar stations, was meant to protect America and its allies. But Russia's foreign ministry sees it differently. It is calling it a provocative move that brings NATO weapons too close to Russian borders. This comes at a critical moment, as Russia just launched its first ever ICBM strike against Ukraine. While that missile carried conventional warheads, it could have been nuclear capable. The message is clear. Russia is escalating tensions and showing its willingness to use strategic weapons near NATO territory.
Hey guys, this is breaking news. This is John, and you're listening to Purgatory Homestead. I just wanted to break for you that Russia has declared that the United Kingdom is now directly involved in a war with Russia. So Russia has just declared now that that Great Britain or the United Kingdom has now been declared war on England because of their involvement with the Storm Shadow missiles in Ukraine. So this is heating up to a next level, guys. More war. More war, more war. Remember, as the great Gerald Celente says, when all else fails, they take you to war. So more spending, more money we don't have, and more wars and more wars and more wars. The IMF, the International Monetary Fund, says there'll be $100 trillion in national debt by the end of this year. Let that sink in. Purgatory Homestead is out.